Okay, so what we're doing today is going through and finishing the lecture on the weather map. So you can see kind of here, we're just looking at, what fronts on a weather map look like. So this kind of goes back with the air masses and fronts lecture and unit, or part of the unit. So you can see warm front, like we talked about before, it's a line that kind of has these red semicircles on them. Remember, the semicircles indicate the direction the front is moving. So in this case, this would be moving from basically bottom to the top. Cold front again uses blue with triangles. Again, the triangles indicate the direction it is moving. So in this case, the cold front will be moving downward. Okay, again, like here it says, Sinus point in the direction the front is moving towards. The occluded front, again, we have it's alternating purple and it's alternating triangle and semicircle using a purple line, purple symbols. So the purple kind of indicates that it's an occluded front. And then the stationary front alternates red and blue. It kind of indicates that warm and cold front have collided together and they're not moving, so they're going, showing opposite directions. So it's basically staying in place. It will still move a little bit, depending on which one's stronger, but it's kind of staying stable. We also then have the pressure symbols. Again, so low pressure, or low pressure kind of areas moving downward. I'm sorry. And tends to move in more of a counterclockwise fashion, where the high pressure tends to move more clockwise. And we'll see that when we get into the actual weather maps here in a moment. Okay, so here's a lot of the different symbols that we can see on maps. Every weather map is going to be a little bit different, so it kind of depends on which map you're looking at. So this is just kind of a lot of information. Again, shows different boundaries. It shows like some of the symbols that we use. Using like rain, snow, different types. So here we have rain, drizzle, and fog. So it indicates some of the dots for rain. If it's drizzling, we can have the comma, the dashed lines for fog, and like snowflakes for snow. So we kind of see a lot of different symbols, but normally we just kind of describe what it is. We'll see some of that later on. Okay. One of the key things that we do see on maps is what we call the isobars. So an isobar is basically an area that has equal pressure, or the pressure is equal throughout. So here's looking at kind of a map of the United States and Canada, and we see is these lines, or we call like the pressure gradients, or basically what that pressure is. So if we're looking, I know the numbers are a little bit hard to read, but I can do the best again. So you can see like this line right here, that I'm kind of going along with the cursor, right, it has a pressure of 1,000, or 1,008. There you go. That's an 8 there. Okay. So between, say, this line right here, let me actually add in, so we can do this. So this line right here, and this line right here, right, are 112 and 116. So going between that, as we have a pressure gradient, so it's a increase in pressure from 112 up to 116. So you can see in areas where it is further apart. So if we're talking, say, right here and right here, it takes a long time to go from a 1004 pressure to 1008. Where, say, if we're looking over here, right here we have, say, like right here, it's 992, and this one then is 996. So it changes really quickly. So we can look at here as the closer the isobar lines are, the greater the change in pressure is, or the faster it changes. So we can look at some distances. So you can get just a line on here quick. So say if we're going from, say, just across the system right here, we're increasing from 988 to 996. So we're increasing right about 8 millibars air pressure. Okay, so whereas say if we come down here and we look at kind of that same distance, you can see we're not really changing at all. So the closer the lines are, the bigger, the higher the pressure, or the greater the change is in pressure. So when we're looking at pressure systems, high pressure tends to bring nicer, clear, sunny weather. Right, again, the wind flows clockwise. We'll see that coming up here. So we have a high pressure system right down here in kind of southeast Utah, as well as in Canada. So we should have some nicer weather. Where we have a low pressure system up here in the corner, that's going to kind of be overcast, stormy weather, and windy. Okay. Okay, there we go. That enough. Okay, so here's looking at again a map that shows again we have our air pressure lines, but here it shows a low pressure system. And remember, when we're looking at our weather station models, which are these little symbols right here, the flags indicate the kind of the direction the wind is coming from. So you can see like, with this one, the wind is coming from the southwest, and it's kind of pushing to the southwest. Whereas against the other side, the wind over here is coming from the northwest, or here we have the northeast. And remember, with a low pressure system, things move counterclockwise. So you can see the wind is kind of pushing, the wind over here is kind of it's blowing in the southeast direction. So that's where we get kind of that counterclockwise flow. So let me grab an arrow real quick here to kind of show. So you can see right here, the wind is blowing in this direction. All right. So you can kind of see how this storm or this pressure system is rotating in that counterclockwise fashion. Whereas up here with the kind of our high pressure system, you can see right here, there's no wind. So it's very, very calm, and the wind is very calm here. And if you also notice, the closer that we get to the low pressure system, the higher the wind speeds are, which means that there's more likely to have a storm. So you can see here with just the single triangle, it shows that the wind is blowing 55 to 60 miles per hour. Here we have a triangle with two flags, so we're looking at 78 to 83. So we're looking at a strong storm system right here in the middle. Okay. F. Okay, so again, here we can see, again, we have our pressure systems in our fronts. Again, when we have our low pressure systems, we tend to see kind of storms and kind of bad weather. We have our cold front here and the occluded front that's causing storms. Again, we almost always see storms and weather patterns happening around fronts. Areas in between those fronts tend to have calmer weather or nicer weather. Okay, same thing here. We have our high front or our high pressure system over here that's creating nice weather. So we have nice weather on the western half of the United States, where the eastern half has this low front or this low pressure system with a cold front pushing through. And you can see it's actually causing that counterclockwise movement. We're going to have an occluded front here eventually, as soon as that cold air mass catches the warm air mass. But again, we have storms here kind of around that low pressure system. And you can see the pressure changes very rapidly. Because the closer these isobars are, the faster that the temperature or the air pressure changes. Okay. So what we do quick here is go through. There's kind of the expected weather. So you may watch this on Friday, some may watch it on Monday. But this is what they predicted our weather to be over the weekend based off of the current air pressure as well as the current fronts. So you can see in Minnesota right now so for Saturday, Saturday morning appears to be just kind of, normal, nice weather. We do have a warm front pushing through. That's going to push through to the northwest a little bit, but we have kind of stable. So you can see here our air pressure should be around 1,024, right? Whereas Saturday evening, that's going to begin dropping a little bit. So you can see here's 1,020. We're still in that same range. We can see there's this low pressure system forming right on the border of North and South Dakota. That's going to cause rain. So you can see there's chances of rain, where it's more likely, and there's even a chance to get snow up in the extreme northern parts of the U.S. Okay, into Sunday is when the storm, this low pressure system should move through our area. So you can see now the pressure down is under 1,000, around 1,016, so it's still dropping a little bit. But we have that cold front and coming through, as well as warm front kind of bending around. So we're expecting to see, because that cold front coming through, we should see some precipitation Sunday morning. So as it continues to push through into Sunday evening, it's going to be moving to the kind of southeast. We actually have a chance for some light snow and rain as well on Sunday evening, and hopefully get into Monday. The weather should be starting to actually shape up, and looks like Monday and Tuesday should be nice. So if we look at this, you get the loop. So you kind of see here, as this this is on a loop, it's just showing how that system is moving from the kind of the northwest to the southeast. And remember, we live in the westerlies, so the weather systems tend to move from west to east. Okay, so I'm going to get this up here, okay, and this whatever, I can just cut this off.